Good morning, American Government class. This is a review video in preparation for your quiz 1, which will be due on this Thursday. Just want you to know that I have been praying for each one of you each day, and hope that God has given you a great week. And so hopefully this will help you to prepare for that quiz. I'm going to just ask several questions. I'm not guaranteeing that all of these questions are on the quiz, or that I will ask them in the way that I'm asking them on this review video. But this content will be basically a good idea of what kind of things are on the quiz. What is the secret to America's success? Hopefully you have thought about its righteous character. We talked quite a bit about that the righteous character of the country has been the secret to its success. And a nation's character is revealed how? How is the nation's character revealed? Well, through its culture. And of course, looking at American culture today, we can see that we are struggling quite a bit. What is America's heritage? What kind of heritage was America built on? And hopefully you have answered Judean Christian heritage. We talked quite a bit about that. And what is the idea that work is a gift from God and a means of glorifying Him? Well, that is part of our heritage, and that is the Puritan work ethic. What is the idea that people are free to work and make a living based on their own initiative? And of course, that term we mentioned is free enterprise, quite a major component to our economy today. What is the idea that government exercises its power under constraints? And of course, that is another key component, limited government. That government exercises power under constraints. What is the authority and power to control, direct, and rule the actions and affairs of others? Well, that is the term for government itself. What is the first civil ordinance issued by God? Hopefully you're thinking about that. The first law that God really gave or wrote down, found in Genesis chapter 9, verse 9 through 16, and that is the ordinance of capital punishment. What is a law given by God through scriptures? We mentioned that as revealed law. Sometimes it's called divine law as well. What about law written by God in our own hearts? You might think conscience being one of those ideas, and that answer would be natural law. What is government where God rules directly using prophets? Of course, that's a theocracy, and we talked quite a bit about that. What is ruled by one whose will is supreme? Well, that is an autocracy, and there's several different types of autocracies. We mentioned the type of government or an autocracy where rule is by a king or queen. That would be, of course, a monarchy. Then we mentioned a type of government in which the rule by one whose will is supreme, and it's given to that person by means other than inheritance. Well, that would be a dictatorship. So a dictator doesn't actually get it by inheritance. What is a totalitarian dictatorship in which all power is vested in one ruler? That would be a fascist government. And then a totalitarian dictatorship, which is formed by a violent overthrow of the government and dominates all people and property. Well, that is communism. And of course, we've seen that several times in many countries around the world. A system of government which controls the economy of a nation, that is socialism. And unfortunately, that's been creeping in for our country the last several years. What is rule by a popular vote? Rule by popular vote. Don't get this confused. That is a direct democracy. And that would be versus rule indirectly by the people through representatives, and that would be an indirect democracy. Of course, one, everybody gets together and votes, direct democracy. In the other, they have representatives like Parliament that would vote on their behalf, and that would be indirect democracy. A system of government where people and their representatives are limited by a constitution. Of course, that's a constitutional republic, and that is what our founding fathers gave us. and we're thankful they did. What is a document, a special document, where the Pilgrims covenanted under God to establish a civil body politic? And that document, of course, really a means in which people said, we're going to obey a government, we're going to establish a government, and that was a Mayflower Compact, the Mayflower Compact. What is a two-house legislature? That is the term bicameral. And, of course, a one-house legislature, that would be a unicameral legislature. What is the full date of the Declaration of Independence? Hopefully you don't miss this. This is July 4th, 1776. Of course, we celebrate the 4th of July. Well, that is your review for our Government Quiz 1. Hopefully this will be a help for you, and I am praying that you will do well. I'll see you on Thursday.